everyone, my name is Burak and my teammates are Batuhan, Berk, Balcı and Metin, Furkan, Amarat. Today we are going to present you our project which is about which indicators affect marriage rates for Europe and how these indicators are correlated with each other. We have gathered some data from TÜİK and Eurostat. Uh, from TÜİK we gathered education level and unemployment rate for Turkey citizens, and from Eurostat we have gathered marriage rates for European citizens, unemployment rate for Europe citizens, population, GDP per capita, and education level of European citizens. These are all shown here. We have done some data engineering for this because there were some non-values. So for the visualization part, we have used line and pie chart for education level for Turkey citizens because we would like to show the categories better. For the unemployment rates for Turkey, we have also used line chart, and this one was bar charts because we wanted to show all the categories. And for the marriage rates of European countries and other Eurostat datasets, we have used again a line chart, and we have used plot these map functions. Can we show it, Metin? Yeah, this way it was looking better. And for the other Eurostat datasets, we have also used these two figures. These are all interactive. We can look at the map and see the values for the countries. Yeah.
For the research questions, we first had to do some further data engineering to make sure that the datasets were compatible with each other. What this essentially meant is that we dropped the columns and rows that were not present across all datasets, which in our case translates to basically discarding the years which were not recorded in all of the datasets and discarding the countries which were not present across all of the datasets. I will only be explaining our first two research questions in the interest of respecting the time limit. The other research questions were, as outlined in the project proposal, the suggestions. They were written and a hypothesis was formed, although we did not actually go the entire length of solving these questions, but rather just outline the method of approach, which you can read in the notebook file that we're going to upload on Innova. So the first one is there a significant correlation between the share of population holding a bachelor's degree and higher and the marriage rates per given country? If so, what is the correlation coefficient that describes this relationship? We basically expect there to be an anti-correlation in this case because as the rate of the population that acquires a university degree gets higher, this is basically a sign of young people focusing more on their careers and works. And we basically expect there to be, an inverse relationship. This was not the case with the European countries, unexpectedly, but the data fit with our hypothesis almost perfectly for Turkey. The reason for that might be that the education level in European countries is already stagnant. So it basically does not change the marriage rates anymore. And as a result of that, it is basically a non-factor, which basically makes it unsuitable for explaining this change. The second research question is the relationship between the unemployment rate and the marriage rate. Again, we expect this to be an inverse relationship because we expect the soon-to-be wed couples to pursue financial stability. This was not really the case in the European countries again, and the data fit the hypothesis very well for Turkey. The reason for that might be the perception of financial stability in European countries, whereas this is simply not the case for Turkey, meaning that young couples are more likely to prioritize, getting a job first and then getting married. Batuhan?
Now, I will be talking about potential products and services, issues related to data engineering and ethics, and our conclusion from this research. As our research was pointed towards getting insights about countries' marriage rates and some strong factors that affect it, our research could be used for policy making and consultation. For policy making, our model would be useful for predicting marriage rates in a country, given that it is trained by enough data. It would also be able to consult people about how the chances of them getting married, given their information in their country. Some issues related to data engineering were data limitations, data reliability, lack of standard grouping, and design choices. We got our data from Eurostat and Tweak, and they group data differently from each other, so we had to work around the data to match each other. Some of the data from Eurostat were estimates, so we had to assume that the data was enough for processing, and we processed it like that. Some ethical issues considering our research that we have to make sure that the data we use is aggregated and anonymous. Since we do research and try to gain insights about marriage rates, which is a sensitive topic among countries, we had to avoid creating stereotypes and biases against these countries. In conclusion, in our research, we found that education rate and marriage rate were inversely correlated for Turkey. This result wasn't observed for European countries and wasn't statistically strong for inference. And as for unemployment rates and marriage rates, we found that these two data points were also inversely related for Turkey. This wasn't observed, and no meaningful relationship between unemployment rates and marriage rates were observed for Europe. And the reasons why for these inferences were discussed in the research questions part. So this is all for our presentation, and thanks for listening to our group project.